Hey guys, Godzilla851 here, back with our Godzilla retrospective. And we are here to talk about the most critically acclaimed film and most successful film in the Millennium series, GMK. Our film begins deep under the sea. As a U.S. sub has been sunk and along a Japanese trench, we have a couple of rescue subs looking for the wreckage. They find the wreckage, however, things are not what they need to be. The sub suffered an internal explosion, however, there are massive claw marks all over it as well. Namely from a monster. As a tide picks up underwater, destroys one of the subs, one of the search subs, we see a row of dorsal plates glowing blue. We all know what this means, as our title comes up, GMK, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, all monsters attack. And fair warning, this movie is a little disturbing and a little upsetting as well. A highly spiritual film that really changes it up with a lot of the established characters in this film. Okay, so we cut back to Japan as they're discussing over how that this is Godzilla and how this is going to be a disaster if he comes back to Tokyo. Someone makes a joke, why can't he pick on another country? As we cut throughout the days, we meet our main character of the film, Yuri Tachibana, who is a journalist, filmmaker of this company called BS Studios. And they're filming a documentary in the woods outside of this town, saying this area is haunted, when a peculiar old man is standing in the woods. We'll get back to him later. But Yuri says that this is going to bring the town a lot of tourists, a lot of money, all this stuff. Later that night, the mayor of the town, he's happy, he's with his wife, I suppose, drinking. As we meet some very annoying punks, and they start breaking stuff left and right. And, you know, they're riding around on their motorcycles, just being annoying little craps. And they pass by this truck, they go into this underpass, in this mountain, and all of a sudden there's an earthquake. The truck stops as the place begins to crumble. Out comes this guy. Yes, Baragon. He didn't make it into the title of the movie, but it's great to see Baragon again, killing the annoying punks on their motorcycles. Cut to the next day, or another group of kids are around this lake. They break into a gas station, I suppose, or a convenience store, whatever. And they start breaking everything, stealing. And they actually kidnap this dog's puppies. Put them in a crate and try to drown them. Yeah, you heard me. Teens try to drown puppies in this movie. They take them out on the boat, they try to drown them, when all of a sudden the water starts to foam, and they're all sucked underwater, seemingly killed by a shark or something. I don't care. How are the dogs? Well, they're fine. So, okay. things just keep on going as this old man is arrested. Yuri Tachibana goes and interviews the guy and says that Godzilla is returning soon and we have to wake the guardian monsters. Namely, you know, the ones listed. And only they can defeat Godzilla because nuclear energy has made Godzilla completely invulnerable to humans' weapons, which is true. But also, he's filled with the souls of the Pacific conflict, and he's pretty much a entity in this film. He's a monster, yes, but it's pretty much the bones and the body of the leftover Godzilla from the 54 film, making this a reboot again. Okay. Pretty much all that mixed with the nuclear radiation plus the hatred that's on the land of people not caring for the world the way how they used to, bringing back Godzilla. They keep on seeing signs of Godzilla around as they're trying to set up a way how to fix things. Baragon arrives, actually saves the old man from police custody, and starts bringing him back towards the mountain where he was earlier. As Yuri went and she searched the mountain, she finds this little stone. It seems to be a chip off of a statue, and she keeps it with her. We'll get into that later. And Baragon is still traveling around when the ocean begins to foam, and revealing our king of the monsters for this film. He looks awesome in this film. Okay? He's massive. He's got the more classic look to him. I mean, I like the Millennium look for Godzilla, I'm not gonna lie. But I do like the classic look for Godzilla. Except they, you know, spruced it up a little bit. They made him a lot more heavier, a lot more larger. Every time he steps on the ground, it actually shakes the camera, so it gives you more of a feeling that you're, you know, looking at what is happening when Godzilla's attacking. You know, he's just destroying stuff. Okay, earlier in the film, this group of kids, you know, they're playing table tennis. They're hanging out talking about how, you know, it's not Godzilla's fault for attacking the city, he's just a poor animal. Well, Godzilla attacks them, and one of them does survive, and she's in the city when Godzilla arrives. Things seem grim as Godzilla's stepping by her hospital, and she's trapped in her room because her leg is in traction, I think it is, from her broken leg. And she can't escape. But Godzilla just walks by. You know, yeah, maybe he's not so evil. Ooh. Maybe he is. So Godzilla continues to head towards the mountain where Baragon is, as Baragon is heading towards Godzilla. The two of them finally meet up as we see this awesome recreation of the scene from Godzilla as Godzilla peers over the mountain. And the two battle. And this fight is actually kind of funny. Godzilla just kicks the crap out of Baragon for 10 minutes. Awesome stuff as we see Godzilla's atomic breath in full glory in this film. Earlier in the film, Godzilla used his atomic breath once because his lady was yelling and I guess it was hurting his ears. So he charged up and used his breath, but we didn't see it, we just saw the aftermath. Yeah, but now we get to see it actually work, and Godzilla kills Baragon. Straight up, flat out kills Baragon. Nothing is left but his spirit, and it blows into the wind. As Godzilla's bright white eyes, dead eyes, are actually looking in the air and roaring in victory. However, back up in the mountain, the old man finds this statue It's about the size of... Oh, sorry, Godzilla. It's about the size of this statue, maybe a little taller. And you see that it has a big chip on the top of it. Remember? He puts the statue onto a block of ice inside the mountain, and the ice begins to crack. As Godzilla continues stomping around, the military continues to use, their armaments on Godzilla. Nothing's working. We get to see, how CG and practical effects are actually put together in this film in a very awesome way. They're using FLIR vision to try and attack Godzilla. It's a form of night vision. And attack Godzilla at night. Godzilla just destroys him in a matter of moments. Yuri gets injured in between scenes. And her boyfriend, friend, whatever, won't allow her to drive and follow Godzilla. She's on a bicycle this entire time, following Godzilla, filming, and sending it back to BS Studios. No, I'm not making up that name. It's really called BS Studios, okay? So it's a really cool thing to see someone documenting Godzilla. They tried to push that on in Godzilla 2000, but, it didn't really go anywhere. This, she's actually following him the entire film. Meanwhile, Yuri's father, Tachibana, he's coming up with this plan of his own, the anti-Godzilla plan. We don't know what that is, so we'll get into that later. As we see out in the lake from earlier in the film, that there's a huge cocoon. The cocoon breaks open and reveals our Mothra for the film. Yes, Mothra killed the teenagers from earlier that were trying to drown the puppies, making Mothra the best version of Mothra. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm a little excited, but, I thought it was awesome. Okay. Mothra takes flight and goes after Godzilla as Godzilla is stomping through Tokyo. And we get this really cool fight sequence between Godzilla and Mothra. Mothra showing off newer abilities, such as these stingers that come out of her butt. She flies around, she messes with Godzilla, and just keeps on, keeping him off balance. Meanwhile, sorry, a lot happening in this movie. The ice breaks as this guy arrives. Yes, King Ghidorah. Okay, however, he's still a baby. It's a 1,000-year-old dragon, as they keep calling him in the film, but he's only been asleep for like 500, maybe 600, 700, whatever. He's not fully developed yet. He doesn't even have wings. Well, he does, but he can't fly. And he joins the fight in Tokyo, battling Godzilla. Yes, Godzilla is the bad guy, Mothra is the good guy, and Ghidorah is the good guy. As they all begin battling, Godzilla is dealing with Mothra for the moment. He begins battling with Ghidorah, and may I say, Ghidorah is awesome in this film. It's the way how his stance is and everything, but the best part is the heads. They actually put some kind of tubing inside the heads, so they're not flailing around as much as he would in previous films. I didn't mind that in the previous films, but that was a lot more difficult. This seems that they upped it. Godzilla making short work of Ghidorah and Mothra. Okay, not killing them, but making short work of them. As the military begins firing on Godzilla, Godzilla does not like that, and he kills the military. Yes, you see Godzilla killing the military. Their explosions are flying around, they're dying and everything. As Godzilla sees the final ship out in the sea, where Tachibana is, Daddy Tachibana, Mothra comes to help, and Godzilla turns and he kills Mothra. Yes, Godzilla kills Mothra, leaving nothing but her soul. But this doesn't really have the effect that Godzilla wants, as the soul goes into Ghidorah. Ghidorah wakes up, and he sprouts some wings and takes flight, becoming King Ghidorah. And the new battle has joined as Godzilla and King Ghidorah battle in Tokyo. Godzilla using atomic breath on King Ghidorah, however, he absorbed it like the plasma grenade and fired it back at Godzilla. Knocking him into the ocean, revealing that Godzilla has a huge mark in his... Sorry, keep hitting it. In his shoulder. A weak point. As Ghidorah continues to battle Godzilla, he actually crashes down on Godzilla and the two battle under the sea. I guess Ghidorah can breathe underwater now. Okay. And I know what you're saying, that in Monster Zero, he was underwater for a while. That was like 2 minutes. This is like a good 10-minute fight where they're underwater. As they're battling, Daddy Tachibana and his assistant, they go on different subs, and they develop this drill missile. And they feel that they're going to use these weapons. They can do that to Godzilla. They can destroy him from the inside. Well, one misses, knocks out Ghidorah. As Godzilla is, moving around, he swallows Daddy Tachibana's sub. Things seem to be going bad as Yuri and her boyfriend almost fall into the ocean when her stone falls out of her pocket. Remember that? Sinks to the bottom of the ocean and lands on top of Ghidorah's middle head. He saves Yuri and her boyfriend from drowning, and the fight is rejoined as King Ghidorah and Godzilla are battling once more. King Ghidorah using gravity beams. They're not doing anything. Actually, Godzilla is absorbing the gravity beams into his dorsal plates. His dorsal plates begin glowing gold, and he fires one big final blast of atomic breath. Mixed with Ghidorah's gravity beams, he kills King Ghidorah, blasts him into thousands of pieces. Godzilla the victor. However, inside of Godzilla, the sub with a Daddy Tachibana is still there. It drills its way out. Okay. As Godzilla is pissed, he goes to use atomic breath, and for some reason it starts going out the exit wound of where the thing drilled out. What? And he keeps trying to use atomic breath, even though it's not working, and he explodes. Yeah, Godzilla dies at the end of this film. As Yuri and her father, they meet up. He can't touch her because he hasn't tested for radiation levels. Things are going very well. As we cut to the bottom of the ocean where they were fighting earlier, we see a school of fish around this object. Yeah, it's Godzilla's heart. They're really rubbing it in that Godzilla's dead in this film. As things seem grim, well, not really grim, I guess happy for our survivors, the heart begins to beat again as Akira Ifukube music plays, showing that Godzilla cannot die, and one day he will return. That ends the film of GMK. Wow. Okay, sorry I was all over the place with this film. This film is all over the place. In my opinion, this is one of the best Godzilla films. One of the top 5 Godzilla films. I definitely recommend you give this a watch. Its message is all over the place, but in a good way. Godzilla is awesome in this film. One of the best depictions of Godzilla. He's not a hero. He's not the anti-hero. He's a straight up... Well, not even really a villain, because villains have a goal. he's a straight up monster in this movie. Okay, he's a beast of legendary proportions, and he's just awesome in this film. The swap of the other monsters. Well, Mothra, she's always a hero. So never seen her as a villain except for maybe in the original Mothra film where they're trying to portray her as evil. But she was more like a mother trying to get her egg back. So, or get the twins back. Baragon. Oh boy, I'm gonna catch some heat for this, but I didn't like the way Baragon looked in this movie. Okay, it was okay. It's an updated look for him. But the feet and the face, I'm more a fan of the Showa Baragon. Okay. Not to say that this Baragon is entirely bad. I just prefer the Showa Baragon compared to this one. I'm sorry. It's been a long time since we've seen him. I should just accept it. Yes, you're right, but I like the Showa Baragon better. Sorry. Ghidorah. Awesome. Okay, I love the evolution of Ghidorah in this film and how they made him the hero of the film, the hero monster of the film. Very interesting and handled very well. Great time. One more final thing, all the human characters in the movie was awesome, especially our female lead, Yuri Tachibana. She's awesome in this film. Okay, her father as the head military guy, awesome. Boyfriend was okay, but everyone at the BS Studios. Okay, so great time. GMK, I'd give this film an S. Give it a watch. Excellent film, one of the best Godzilla films. Okay, guys, well, that's that, and we'll be back with more, a closer look at the Millennium series. Bring Godzilla back to his more updated look in the next film. Okay, guys, Godzilla51 saying, see y'all later. Please like, comment, and subscribe.